So a lot of you guys have been asking me to create a showcase video for my server LA Reality RP. I've been wanting to create this for a while now, but I haven't really had the time. So we're gonna go over pretty much everything my server has to offer in this video. And if you're new, I'll give you a basic rundown of our community and our vision in case you'd like to join. LA Reality RP was created earlier this year with the intention to be the first realistic economy FiveM server. As ambitious as this project was, and as much time as we put into this to try to create something unique, it unfortunately did not work out. We were unable to foster the type of community we wanted, and we ended up closing shop temporarily until reopening shortly after with a new vision. About a week later, we created a vMenu hybrid server with a sole focus on realism and building a strong community. And we decided to keep the server based in Los Angeles and continue with our core vision to focus primarily on being the best realistic LAPD FiveM server. Now with that, we do also have CHP, and we plan to add LASD in the future as well, but as of right now, our primary department will remain LAPD. And the main reason for this is I've always enjoyed LAPD for whatever reason, and there's not a lot of good FiveM servers out there that emulate LAPD the way that we do. Another unique thing about our server is that we use the new LA Revo 2.0, which completely overhauls the map to make it feel as close to Los Angeles as possible. And just all around, we have some of the best resources, uniforms, weapons, and cars available on the market that you more than likely will not see anywhere else. With that being said, if you're interested in joining our server, the link to the Discord will be down below in the description. Without further ado, let's go ahead and begin the showcase. Alright, so first off, uniforms. So the LAPD uniforms are from Lewis. We do have CHP uniforms and an LASD uniform. I'm not sure who those are from. We do have a holster script. I think it's dynamic holsters is what it's called. And it actually takes the gun out of the holster, which is pretty cool. Here's a good example. So we have an instructor outfit. This looks pretty cool. I really like this. And then I'll show off some of the SWAT uniforms. So I've got a couple different SWAT uniforms I use. So this is the short sleeve one, which definitely needs a little bit of work. So the thing we were trying to go for here is that the LAPD SWAT does have a weird combination. They will wear like the full BDU, but because, I mean, California is such a hot state, especially during the summertime, they will wear short sleeves, and their short sleeves are like a darker color, but I believe they have blue as well. But I have seen pictures of them running like the black over blue. So we tried to emulate something like that. The combat belts as well, I'm not 100% satisfied. I don't like the red stuff in the back, but they do look really nice. I've got the BDU. So this actually looks pretty slick. I like the full BDU look, the blue on blue. And we have a bunch of different types of vests, plate carriers. So if this isn't to your liking, like obviously the yellow taser there, that's not accurate. But the reason I like this one is because it's got the wire that comes around the back, which I think adds, you know, it pops out a little bit more. I do have one for the gas mask, so I'll throw this on when I know that we're using tear gas, and I'll actually demonstrate this in a second. This tear gas mask actually works. So if we throw gas into a property and we go in, it will not affect us with this gas mask on, which is really cool. But yeah, this is probably one of the coolest gas masks that I was able to find and purchase. I'm not exactly sure who it's from. I forget because it's been so long, but it actually took us a lot of work to get this to work with this helmet. There was some complications with that for some reason. But this is extremely accurate to the type of gas mask that they use in real life. So we're getting there with the accuracy. Let's go through some of our vests so you guys can kind of see what vests we have. So these are the different variants for the vests. So this one looks really nice. Doesn't really have anything popping in the back or anything like that, but it still looks good. Bunch of different variants for that. We did have more vests, but I think they got removed when we did the big jump over to hybrid. This is the vest that a lot of people are familiar with. It's on LCPDFR as well. A lot of people use that one for like LAPD stuff that I've seen. I'm not sure where this vest is from, but if we zoom in here, this is going to be our narcotics vest. So G&D wears this, looks really nice. We did have Lewis's vest. However, I don't think it got transferred over, which I thought it looked amazing. And then this is the LAPD load bearing vest, which we do not authorize at this time. In real life, the LAPD doesn't get distributed these. However, they can buy them on their own and they can wear them if they wish. I haven't really seen it used in the field as much, like from body cameras and stuff. So I would assume it's not really widely used in the LAPD as much as people may think. So for LASD, this actually does look really good. I like this. I might actually wear this when LASD comes out. Looks nice. I think it looks better than the LAPD one, but that is an option. I know there's probably people asking, where's the LASD vest? So there it is. And I personally just like the basic uniform without a vest on, but that's just me. But yeah, there's some other things that we could go through. I don't want to like spend all the time going through clothing. So we're going to go ahead and move on and look at some armory stuff. All right, for the inventory stuff, so unlike other like stereotypical menu-based servers, we are actually taking advantage of Ox inventory because we're using the ND Core framework. And that is actually one thing that I wanted to make sure we brought back for this vMenu server, is having a bunch of items and things like that in the inventory. I think this is very unique and not a lot of servers have that, unless you're just like full-blown economy, which we were until we rebranded. So if you take a look at my inventory, this is what I'm using. Got a Glock 20 on me, Taser 7, flashlights, baton, handcuffs, tourniquet, handcuff key, all that stuff, right? Taser 7 is actually kind of unique. So this is from London Studios, which sponsored us and allowed us to use a lot of their assets, which huge shout out to them for doing that. They definitely helped out with creating this project. Now the cool thing with this is, if you've never heard of London Studios, so if I were to shoot somebody with this, I can actually re-engage that cartridge and it'll give them another shock. You can also drive stun as well, which is pretty cool. And because we have items and stuff like that, we need to reload our taser. So when I shoot both of them here, and I've got to reload each cartridge, which is pretty cool. And then as you can see, they're not in my inventory anymore because I just used them. And I just grab a couple. I usually keep like 2 on me, so 2 in the taser and then 2 additional, which is pretty cool. Like I said, it's not really a unique thing that I've seen from anybody else. And we've got various different types of weapons and just pistols. We've got a shotgun. We got rifles, less than lethals, beanbag, 40 mil, flashbangs, tear gas. We pretty much got everything, and a huge shout out to our developer who's taken the time to put all this together. He did a great job giving us a bunch of custom weapons. This is all from him, like all these weapons here. So he did a phenomenal job. We even have like custom weapon effects, which I'll showcase here in a second. So he did a great job. So huge shout out to him. So we're going to go through one by one here. Let's just kind of show off the gun. So I've got the Glock 20 red dot. I'm gonna give myself some 10 mil, and in first person, by the way, this gun, this is my favorite pistol because of how good it looks in first person as well. It's extremely accurate in first person. The dot is right on the mark, and as you can tell when I shoot, I guess I can't shoot when I'm like that, but there's no tracers, and you have like the smoke effect. You'll also notice we have a higher rate of fire. So unlike base GTA where you can only shoot like a certain rate of fire, it's completely unlocked here, pretty much. So you can do proper mag dumps. Let's go ahead and grab just a bunch of different pistols. So let's do the MRD, or sorry, the 509, the Glock 17, and let's do one of the staccatos, which we've been having some issues with the staccato for some reason. I think this is all 9x19, so let's grab a bunch of 9mm. Oops. It would help if I actually put the right weapon in my inventory. So each weapon kind of has like their own rate of fire. Not every gun is like completely on target with like the red dots and stuff. This is a really good looking Glock model. The staccato. I guess the staccato doesn't pull out of the holster for some reason. We got to fix that. Staccato looks nice. The rate of fire is kind of not there. The red dot is on target though. Staccato is used more by like Metro and like SWAT and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. Let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and drop this. Actually, I want to use that, so let's keep that. Show off, what else do we got here? Let's do some of the long guns. So let's do shotgun. And this is a shotgun that's specifically modeled to be like LAPD's shotgun, which is super awesome, very unique. You're not going to find a shotgun like this anywhere else. You have to get it from this developer if you want this type of realistic shotgun. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's basically just like the same thing, just LAPD shotgun, which is awesome. Let's do the HK. So one thing with the HK is that you can actually put attachments on this thing. So this was actually something that I was very adamant about. I was like, yeah, if we're doing this, we're going to be doing this HK in particular, and we're going to make sure that the attachments worked on it. So I think the EOTech works and the aim point works. We're going to do EOTech and then the flashlight. So we'll go ahead and attach these. And I don't know if this is a new feature, but notice how like my character, when he's holding the rifle, it's not clipping into his vest. That's new. He's not like clipping into the vest. He's holding it out in front of his plate carrier. Yeah, that's new. That looks really good. Oh, it would help if I had a mag loaded. I don't think the EOTech is like on target, but I know the LAPD, I don't know if they use this exact model of HK, but it's pretty close. I think they use, I forget what it's called. Somebody brought it up in the chat the last time I showed it off. But it's pretty damn close to what they use in real life. And obviously they have their choice for other types of rifles as well. We also have a script. There we go. It's showing up. So when you put the rifle away, it'll show up on your chest. This does kind of clip through the vest, which is fine. But it looks really nice. Really nice. Let's go ahead and put that down. We've got the AR-15, which is like a standard AR for patrol. We'll check out the sniper, which I don't think is fixed, but should be fixed in the future. It doesn't have a scope on it. Yeah, it still doesn't have a scope on it. But this thing looks really nice. I mean, this is the exact one of the snipers that they use with their sniper teams in LAPD. I don't think I can shoot this without, like, actually, yeah. So it just has to get the scope fixed on it. I think the reason why it does that is because we have our crosshair disabled, so it also disables the scope. I'm sure there's a workaround for that, but I don't think he's gotten around to that yet. We don't really use the sniper very often anyway. All right, so we're going to check out the MP7, which uses a very unique ammunition type. And that's another thing, too, that I think is really cool that other servers don't do, including eco servers. Like, actually having the real type of ammunition. Usually in eco servers, they'll just have, like, one type of ammo, like pistol, SMG, rifle, shotgun. In reality, that doesn't, like, make sense. And I understand from, like, a development standpoint, yeah, sure, that's a pain in the ass to have to, like, code every single type of ammo. But that's one thing that I love about our developer. Because we're trying to make it realistic, that was, like, absolutely something that he had to do. It wasn't really something that I asked for, but when he brought it up, I was like, yeah, we got to have that in the server. So unique ammunition types are a must. So I know you kind of hold the MP7 weird by GTA's logic. I actually think it looks kind of cool instead of holding it out like a normal rifle, but that might just be me. But as you can tell, I just put a tac light on it, and I just put an EOTech on it. Now, by default, when you go to aim like the SMGs in GTA, you actually kind of hold it out to your side, but the developer made it so you hold it like a rifle when you're aiming down, which is really cool. The rate of fire on that thing is just insane. Insane. Oh, I think he added the animation for having it on your chest. That looks pretty cool. I wish there was a way to make it so it didn't clip, but I don't know if that's possible. It's probably possible, but let's see. Okay, beanbag shotgun. We definitely need to check that out. And then we'll also do the 40, which is pretty cool. You guys are gonna love that. I'm gonna go ahead and drop that. Okay, so the 40, when it hits somebody, it kind of acts like a it's like a taser. Now in other servers, you got like the actual shotgun sound when this thing goes off. No, with this mod, it just sounds like a beanbag. Pretty cool. It's got like that grenade launcher sound effect, which I like because it's not a shotgun, you know, going off. It's a less than lethal projectile. So oh yeah, and I forgot the shotgun goes on your back, and the 40 also goes on your back. So we're gonna load this thing up, and you'll notice this is a single tube. It's got the EOTech on it. It's got the 3 foam projectiles on the side, and you'll notice you can actually see the projectile when we shoot it. I don't know why it has the red, the red effect there. I think that's supposed to be like snow, like the snow effect from like the impact or something. But because of my graphics mod, it makes it red. I don't know. Oh, look, there it goes there. That was a different color. One thing I don't like about it, I don't know if he's updated this yet, but like when you ADS, like what is this? I don't know if that's just difficult to fix or what, but either way, that's the 40. Now there is a version of this 40 that will like stun them like a stun gun, but the one that we're using, it actually does damage to them, which I think kind of makes sense if they're role playing correctly. If you hit them with this, it's supposed to hurt. It's supposed to like do pain, or cause pain. So yeah, I kind of like it that way. I think we're gonna keep this version. Let's go ahead and take that off. Got a bunch of cartridges on the, oh, that's another thing I was gonna show off. There's like a bunch of cartridges on the floor, and you can actually pick up evidence. So I just picked up casings from a 5.56, casing from a 9mm. So we have some really cool evidence scripts as well for like detective roleplay. I completely forgot about that. I wasn't even going to showcase that. But I think we'll go upstairs at when we're done with the armory, and I'll show you guys the laboratory as well. I completely forgot about that. Let's go ahead and show off the flashbang. I think the flashbangs still cause fires, but we're about to find out. I don't want to flashbang myself, but... Ooh. Yeah. Flashbang still causes fires for some reason. Stop all fires. But that's pretty cool. Flashbangs don't really exist in other servers. Tear gas. So we're going to demonstrate tear gas. So we'll throw one without the mask so you can see what it looks like. So my guy is like freaking out. Screen goes all funky. You can rub your eyes. And this lasts for like an extremely long time too. So as a suspect, if you're role-playing as like a barricaded suspect and you've got SWAT that are surrounding, calling out, gas deployment, you're gonna be in big trouble. This script is really cool. I forget where we got this from, but yeah, look how slow that bar is moving on the right-hand side. Finally. Okay. Now we're gonna do that same thing, except now we have a gas mask on. And as you can see, with the gas mask on, I am not affected by the gas. Alright, we're taking a look at the vehicle fleet for the LAPD, and as you guys can tell, there are quite a few cars that we have available for our department. These cars are all from Fleet Ops, well, most of them. So we've got Crown Vic, we got a GED Crown Vic, Gang Enforcement Detail, Gang Enforcement Detail Taurus, 2013 Explorer, 2014 Explorer, 2020 Explorer, and then on this side we've got a basic patrol Taurus, a traffic 2020 Explorer. Now notice they've got the ram bar here, and with the ram bar means that that's a traffic vehicle. And then we've got the Gang Enforcement Detail Slick Top 2020 Explorer. We've got a traffic 2014 Charger. And then over here I've got pretty much like half and half Metro vehicles as well as some miscellaneous. So I believe this could be used by detectives as well, but a Taurus and 2014 Explorer, which I know that's used by Metro primarily. The Charger used by Metro and detectives, and then this I think it's a 2016 or a 2018 Charger used by Metro, but I think that's one of our miscellaneous cars. I don't think that came with a pack. And this is also another one of our miscellaneous cars used by like GND, Gang and Narcotics Division. And this is really unique. So this is by London Studios as well, just like the Taser. And this is our SWAT ladder LAPD vehicle. And we do have a regular Bearcat as well, but for whatever reason I can't pull it out. It's just not working. So we're going to show that in the showcase room. But yeah, all these cars look good. I'll actually, oh, over here as well we have the K9 cars. So we've got a K9 Vic, and then we've got the classic all-white K9 Explorer, 2014 Explorer, and the 2020 Explorer. And we can show off some of the lights as well for these cars, if I can get in them. I guess not, so we'll do this one. Obviously, I'm not going to go through every single one of these cars and show off the lights. Some of these don't have staged lighting, not because they aren't set up yet, but they just aren't compatible for whatever reason. They just have too many lights, or I don't know exactly what it is, but I love the grill lights on this car. It looks amazing. And I believe the 2020 has the same, but yeah, the all whites K9 cars look really nice. I also really like the lighting on this, and I know this isn't an LAPD exclusive vehicle, but just check this out. Like, this is one of our miscellaneous cars for gang and narcotics. It's got like the shield in the back. I love this car. Don't get to really drive it much because we don't do much gang and narcotic stuff, but that's going to change soon. Obviously, I mean, these are just like basic on marks for Metro. So this does have stage lighting, which I really like. So we've got the full lights. These also have some really good light bar grill lights. I don't know. I think it looks really, really nice, especially with Quant 5. So stage lighting, we got the ambers in the back. We got the steady burns in the fronts. I think it looks really cool. 2020. Also, don't mind the light bars, or sorry, the spotlights. They come with a bunch of different variants, and when they spawn in, they if you don't have it set up already, that's how they come in. So you just have to fix that with the extras. But stage lighting for these as well. Pretty much everything has stage lighting. Like I said, with the exception of a few. Our CHP cars also don't have stage lighting set up. But yeah, we got stage 2 with the ambers, and then steady burns in the front. Looks really nice. Could show off the lighting on the Brown Vic gang enforcement detail vehicle. Notice how they have the one steady burn red light, which is required by California, in the front. And in the rear, you got the blue and the amber. Really nice looking car. I don't know if these cars have stage lighting. I don't believe they do. But yeah. Might just be a limitation. And then, of course, the Crown Victoria. One of my favorites. We have multiple different variants of the Crown Victoria as well. So I believe this is the Ghost variant that doesn't have a trunk number. Now, for those of you guys that aren't aware, LAPD's trunk numbers align with whatever area division they are. So with the Ghost livery, although it's kind of rare, it pretty much is allowed to be used within any division, pretty much. But here's the lighting with this. We got a little bit of an issue with this car, just like the front lighting. But the other Crown Vics are not like that. So yeah, we have multiple Crown Vics. There's like 4 of them. Over here, we'll look at the traffic cars. I know some of you guys are just obsessed with like the Chargers. I think the extras are messed up on this one. I'm gonna have to look into that, but there's 2 different Chargers as well. I might have grabbed the wrong one. Oh yeah, I love that lighting. Looks so good. And take a look at the traffic. I know you guys like the traffic cars. This one does not have stage 2s. The push bar looks really nice though. I just like the lighting on the LAPD cars to begin with. I think it looks really nice. And then this car here, the Taurus. There we go. Steady burns, ambers, and then the full lights. And we'll show off the Bearcat really quickly. For whatever reason, like I said, I can't spawn it in. Don't know what's going on with that. Got a Lenko Bearcat. I believe this is from Redneck's Cars. And we'll do a test drive. So this is, we do have multiple liveries for this one as well. So this is the, oh, this is actually the wrong livery. Hold on, let me look here. Here we go. So this is the LAPD livery. It looks so sexy. And then we've got the sheriff livery, which I think they have a green one as well, but we only have the black. And then we have highway patrol. Yeah, pretty cool looking. The back actually looks really nice too, but I can't show it because I'd have to exit the car. Super high quality though. Really quickly before we move on to the CHP stuff, because I know some of the new people are probably watching this and they want to hear the siren. So our siren is pretty nice. We do use server side sirens, so all the cars have their sirens server side. So yeah, not bad. All right, moving on. We're going to look at some CHP stuff. So our CHP is relatively new. This is actually, I think, a free MLO for the station. Nothing too fancy. It's right off the highway, the Great Ocean Highway, or in our server, it's the Pacific Coast Highway because we have real road names here. So with that being said, we got some retextured, I guess, logos and stuff, obviously. So that way it's, you know, California Highway Patrol and not San Andreas State Troopers or San Andreas State Police. So their armory for a CHP is a little bit different. And of course, we're going to have a little bit of lag issue here just because for whatever reason, my GPU has problems up north. And when I say GPU, I just mean like the NUI, like the UI stuff is like super laggy because my GPU is at like 90% load with all the, you know, super high frame rate. I don't know what's going on with that. It's really annoying. But like I said, they've got a little bit different of an armory. So instead of a green Taser 7, there's a yellow. They have a couple different firearms. So an SMW model 659, M&P 9L, Glock 17 is here. There's an M4. It's pretty similar though, all the way around. Like not really much of a difference. We're looking to get a better M4 model. This is kind of meh, but it'll do the job. You're not really going to be doing much of that as Highway Patrol anyway. We try to keep it realistic with Highway Patrol as far as like their policy. So like they're mostly going to be on the highway unless they need to go help with an accident in the city or like there's a pursuit that they need, that they get called for assistance or whatever it is. Either way, we're going to go ahead and show off our vehicles. All right, so we don't have all the cars on display here, but we do have most of them, and we do plan on updating our fleet here pretty soon. The thing I do not like about these cars currently is that they do not have like the steady burns, like parking mode. We didn't know that when we purchased this pack, of course, but there is a pack that we're looking at that does have that. But again, CHP isn't really our priority. But again, you know, we are doing our best here. We want to have a little bit of a variety for our senior members, which will have an opportunity to get into CHP because it is invite only. With that being said, so we got the Slick Top 2020 Explorer. So it's got that unique tone. It is the newer style of tone as well. So the newer cars have the newer sirens. And again, we do have server side sirens. So we have a combination of different sirens for each of our departments. So again, this has the newer style siren because this is a newer vehicle. The inside of these cars look really nice as well. And I believe the Crown Vic has one of the older sirens. Yeah. This thing is fast too for some reason. That lighting is messed up in the back. That smart controller needs to be taken off. I don't think there's an emergency tone. I think there was an old school like emergency tone, wasn't there? I'm not sure. But yeah, we got the 20 Explorers, we got the Crown Vic, we've got one of the new Dodge Durangos. Now we do have a Ghost livery as well. We also have a non-slick top version. Now there's always people fact checking and, you know, spec checking and stuff like that. So annoying. I'm pretty sure they do have black and white Dodge Durangos. I don't know if they have slick top black and white Dodge Durangos, but I do know that the Dodge Durango does come in black and white, so... Both of the sirens sound pretty good. I think I like the new one a little bit better, but people are gonna, you know, disagree with me on that one. Okay, so this has one of the older sirens too. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There are a couple other cars as far as I know. I think we have a 2014 Highway Patrol Explorer. But yeah, these are pretty much all the vehicles here. And again, CHP is invite only right now. LAPD is our main department. LASD will be our newest department that's going to get added. And LASD is not invite only. However, you do need to be an LAPD before you're eligible to play as LASD. You just got to memorize the codes and everything that LASD has, and you're fine to play as them. But we haven't really set everything up for that yet. We still need to buy the cars. We have the uniforms, we just need the cars. Either way, we're going to go ahead and move on. Okay, lastly, I want to show off some civilian stuff. So, unlike other servers, you can't just spawn in guns. You actually have to go to the location and not purchase firearms, but you can get firearms from this location. So I've already got some stuff on my person, but yeah, we've got a pretty big firearm selection, and we're adding in new things like every other week for like civilians and police. So we got Glock 19, Glock 22, Beretta M9, Glock 41, Glock 19 XL, XDM Elite, the Taurus P2 247, a Gluger. Oh my god, that's so silly. I can't believe they added that back. A Pit Viper FN 509, a Colt M1911, FNX 45, and a Glock 43X. And I don't think it's already added in, but I thought he said he was going to add some like advanced firearms like switches and Dracos and stuff like that will be added later. So that's all pretty cool. I think I've got ammo for this, don't I? So yeah, it's all inventory based. You can't spawn in your own guns. There is drugs as well. Obviously, unlike economy servers, you have to actually go and like craft drugs and stuff. So you don't have to do that here because we're trying to just create roleplay scenes. So we do have custom vehicles as well. And there's new custom vehicles being added. Like I said, like every other week, he's adding in new cars. Let's take a look here. So where's the add-on vehicles at? I don't spawn, like the police doesn't, they don't have to spawn in cars, or well, they can't spawn in cars. They have to use the garage. But civs are going to spawn in their cars. Where am I going here? Okay, I was already in it. Yeah, I mean, we have a bunch of different cars here. Malibu. Yeah, I mean the list just just goes on. I mean, got a Jeep, got a Tundra. Oh, we got a Tundra now? Okay. Yeah, I mean a bunch of different like civilian style vehicles. Actually curious, I want to check this out. Okay, no, we already had this. All right. Yeah, I haven't even like gone through and like looked at all these cars. We have so many different vehicles now. I'm actually a little bit curious myself. Okay, I've seen that one. And then we have a Civ Explorer. A Mustang. What is that? What is this thing here? Oh, that's kind of badass. Ooh, I like this thing. The Evo, right? Lancer? Oh, this thing really moves too. Yeah, this thing looks really nice, especially with like my graphics and everything. Holy crap, I like that a lot. What else we got here? Muscle cars, we got a Camaro. Ooh, this thing's pretty nice, yeah? I haven't seen like half of these vehicles. Like, I don't do Civ stuff, and I don't think I was keeping up on the new update that we did. But yeah, no, like this all looks really nice. So many add-on cars, holy shit. Oh, that thing looks like a beast. Old Camry. GTR, of course. Okay, this thing looks nice. This thing looks real nice. Holy, especially with the graphics. Oh, yeah. This is cool looking. Hell yeah. I'd be just cruising around in that thing just for fun. Some off-road cars. What is this? Oh, okay. Cool. I think that's it. Nope, we have vans. Oh, I guess this Tacoma is considered a van. Oh, and then the news van. I forgot that was a thing. I think that's it. Yeah. No, I mean, we've got a lot of really cool Civ features as well. I didn't realize they added in all those cars. Yeah. That's awesome. And like I said, he's adding in new things like every other week. So like I said, I think he's going to be doing like switches and Dracos here pretty soon. So yeah, this is the server to be in if you want a mature community, realistic server with cool cars and just, I mean, LA Revo. I mean, look at these buildings and everything. This is all custom back here. Yeah, it all looks really nice. Definitely come by, put it in an application. We could definitely be more than happy to have you over here. Looking for LEOs, we're looking for civs, fire department, EMTs, all that. So that is going to wrap up the video. Thank you guys so much if you stuck it all the way through to the end. Again, if you want to check out my server, LA Reality RP, the link to our Discord is down below in the description. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you in the next video.